Hey guys, welcome to Popcorn Buffs. I'm Peter, and this is Liam, and we've just come out of watching Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1. And just a little context before we actually get into discussing this movie, because we've been pretty excited to talk about it. Liam has never seen a single episode of not just Demon Slayer, but of any anime period. So I thought, what a baptism of fire. And let's just chuck him in the deep end and show him the Part 1 of the final conclusion of Demon Slayer. It was a risk taking you to see this, but I thought, you know what, if it's anything possibly like Infinity War, maybe people that haven't seen anything will find something to enjoy. You're a big appreciator of action and animation. I just thought, what a fun idea to explore. Like, can you enjoy this movie with zero context? Is that even possible? But we're not going to answer that question right now because I've got a few more things that I want to touch on before we get to it. So I want to pick your brain a little bit. First question for you, with someone, of course, with zero context. Can you follow the story at all?
Yes, I feel like they set up the movie from the start pretty easily with obviously being sucked into this demon's world. You understand that they're obviously falling while the credits are rolling to like different areas of this world that he's in. You were the saving grace, of course, because I had to ask you questions about who's this or who's that.
Yeah. Look, I didn't want to talk too much and give something away because, of course, I wanted your actual insight knowing nothing. But a few times I'd, whisper, that's the Nick Fury of this team. And this, this guy's like, these are the Avengers of this this movie. Just so I could help you a little bit. I just wanted to give you like a tiny little nudge just so you weren't completely lost and you didn't completely hate me.
Yeah. Once you said it, I locked in. Yeah. But no, I felt like they fleshed out the story enough for me to understand the importance of characters. But it felt like, 3 seasons of a TV show was definitely something I needed to.
You can tell.
Yes. This movie felt like it was a standalone to a point, but I was like, no, there's really emotional connections that I need to understand about certain characters before coming into this. But
yeah, that you'd appreciate far more. That's so fair.
Yes.
But like obviously the general plot you followed, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay,
No, I felt like it was its own thing.
And non-spoilers as well. We're not going to give away too much of the actual story. I mean, I don't think you could if you tried. If you wanted, you can actually spoil the movie.
The guy with the sword.
The guy with the sword did the slashing. Yeah. All right. Obviously, Demon Slayer is full of characters. The TV series. It's also why it's so popular because a lot of people are drawn to all sorts of different characters. I love a few of them personally. Some of my favorite characters in just all the media. Any favorite characters? Anyone stand out to you? Any ideas on or thoughts on these characters?
Obviously, first off, main character. I don't know what this guy's name is.
Tanjiro.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was great.
Okay.
I loved him and his teacher that was with him, Mr.
Gaio.
Mr. Guy. I thought he was great. I thought those two going back and forth with each other throughout the movie. I thought that was great. Just the like that teamwork. It felt very like superhero-ish for me, which I absolutely loved.
Yep.
I thought they were great. The way they felt.
Tanjiro's your favorite.
He was great. He was a standout. Obviously, he had some of the most screen time.
Yeah, well, he had the best scenes.
Yeah.
Probably too.
The other guy, which was standout, which I didn't really get to see too much, the guy with the ball and the chain.
Gayome.
He's
actually a fan favorite. So how funny is that? Even if you know nothing about him, you're still drawn to him. He's also blind.
No, what?
Yep. Yeah.
I didn't tell that at all.
You know what? After this, maybe we'll get on YouTube. I'll show you some of his scenes.
Done. I reckon. Yeah. He, from what I saw, the limited stuff, he looked amazing.
Unfortunately, he's not too much in this movie, which would have helped. Yeah, but it's funny you're drawn to him. Everyone is.
Done.
So even knowing nothing about him, you're just drawn.
Yes.
That's so interesting.
He was amazing.
Okay, cool. All right. What about huge fan clearly of action? You watch action movies all the time, even far more than I do. I'd say it's your favorite genre. Is that safe to say, right?
1,000%.
How does the action work in anime for you? Does it stand out? Is it like Western action? It's obviously very different, but is there things to appreciate?
Definitely. The visuals for this movie I thought was fantastic. I think that's what added more to how intense some of the action scenes were, which I was like, you could tell the scaling of it. I was like, man, this is crazy. The only thing that really took me out of the action was them talking about the moves that they were doing, or then they would pause and do these backstories or these brainstorming ideas that they have. And I'm like, this is taking me so much out of the action.
Yeah.
In Western movies.
They like to, and anime, the animes I've watched as well, there is a trend of explaining the thought process before they do something, or what they've learned and how they are applying it mid-battle.
Which is, it takes me, because I don't really understand anime like that. Maybe it's this.
I think that's an acquired taste. You have to actually start getting used to that structure and that sort of storytelling.
Yeah.
And then it's not too much of a shock. But I can totally see if you've never seen it before and someone is just having a mental rant mid-battle, like a monologue, a
Yes.
full monologue mid-battle.
Where they're just standing there and just looking at each other and there's nothing happening, but they're talking in each other's heads. I'm like, what
It's
is
so
happening?
funny. Yeah, I've just become so used to that because it's just, part and parcel of a lot of animes.
But there was certain scenes I was like, yes, it's about, like, something's about to happen. And then I'm like, oh. Well,
and then you
no.
enter his head. Yeah.
15 minutes of dialogue. Here we go.
It's like Inside Out for these characters.
Yes. But yeah, good, but it could have been better for me.
All right, so look, ultimately, can you enjoy this movie? Like, can you watch Demon Slayer Part 1, Infinity Castle Part 1 with zero context?
Did I enjoy it? No. Can you enjoy it? Yes.
There's things to
There's
take
things
away.
to enjoy from it. You can obviously understand it. It does feel like it's its own standalone movie to an extent. Did I enjoy the movie itself though? Not particularly though.
It requires the context.
It does. That's the thing. Yes.
Yeah, fair
It,
enough.
it requires an emotional connection to these characters, storyline, the importance of settings, this and that.
Yeah, and
to
that's, I
actually
think that's a
understand.
totally fair opinion. Like, I would have been really surprised if you were like, you know what, this movie is amazing, and I knew nothing. There's a bit of homework required for this. for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Were you lost in any parts of this as well? Or?
No, I can look. I mean, I'll give you my 2 cents. I mean, we spoke very briefly after the movie. I think you have an idea. It's definitely, you require the 3-4 seasons beforehand to fully appreciate this movie. Like, again, no spoilers. This movie does something at the end that was probably the most frustrated. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Most frustrated I've ever been in a cinema, because I mean, they go for a flashback of an upper rank. I'm not going to say who it was, but there's an upper rank flashback. I would say that goes anywhere between 20 to 50 minutes. It is that long, I lost track of time, but I just knew it was way too long. I could see people shuffling in their seats in the cinema, and this is during the conclusion. So this is the climax, and they take you on this complete detour. Look, flashbacks are a part of Demon Slayer. They're part of a lot of animes.
Yeah.
But if you're doing a cinematic, like if it's going to be a movie, things need to change. And I thought about it, and I'm like, why would they do that? Because it took all the wind out of my sails. Like I said, I actually don't think I enjoyed the movie this much because of how, like, that decision at the end of the movie just messed it all up for me.
Yeah.
Because the first 2/3 are very solid. We get some really
Yes.
awesome character moments, and the pacing is great.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're actually moving through really quickly with a lot of these characters and their interactions and their fights. So I was like, okay, they're understanding that this is a movie. Things are going to be a bit different. But that third act, absolutely not. And I thought about it, like I had to run over, like, how could you fix this? If you want to add this upper ranks flashback, start the movie off with that. Because I
Okay.
think the flashback itself is quite interesting. There's
Yeah.
a bit there to, sort of understand where it comes from and, its motivations. Open the movie with the flashback.
That's about.
I
that's
really
about-
think
yeah,
if you open the movie with the flashback and then you let the final act breathe and you don't get that sort of pacing whiplash,
Yeah.
that is so shocking. I mean,
and
we had
forth.
my friend's nephew, right? He's an 8-year-old. Huge fan. He was screaming out every character's name when he saw him. And during that flashback scene, which is the entire final, chapter of the movie, he's like, is it finished yet? I'm like, everyone heard him. You heard him, right?
did.
And, that's a pure 8-year-old fan.
Yeah.
Like, even he was like, this is not engaging me anymore. So, like, say what you want about the animation and all that, but if you do this in, like, an actual movie that people are paying tickets for in a cinema, I think it's like a catastrophic decision. Look, I mean, some people will enjoy that. It's necessary. It's good to have it there, but put it at the start if you're going to do it.
Yes.
Open the movie with that.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot more payoff at the end, because when you reach that part of the the movie and you meet this character, you already know where he comes from.
Yeah.
And then there's high stakes in that fight. And it doesn't help. I couldn't look at you in the movie. I could see in my peripherals. I knew you had work the next day early. Like, maybe if I just look completely straight during this 50-minute flashback, I won't feel your rage. But your eyes were piercing the side of my head.
I was looking at you and I was like, Pete, is this really still going?
Yeah, I know. But look, overall, it's hard to judge this on just a part 1. It's
Yeah.
a part 2 and a part 3. Like, as a whole, they might actually work really well.
Yeah.
But there's some serious pacing issues that I actually don't think are forgivable. Are you going to watch the anime?
We walked out of this, and the first question I asked was, is the TV series anything like this movie?
Yeah.
Because if it is,
You're
it's
not
a
gonna-
straight no.
Yeah.
You said it's not.
Well,
which is-
look, it's hard to say because, again, television, you can have an episode dedicated to a flashback, and that doesn't feel like it's taken away from, the focus of the TV series.
Yeah.
The understanding you're dedicating some time to build these characters. A movie's a very different format. So I don't know. I see that decision is just, it might have ruined anime for you.
It's put a bad
We could have had a weeb. A fresh weeb, but we lost one.